Go to Discord. We'll get the bot ping. Need the link from the bot ping. Come on, bot. You can do it. Well, we are live, I believe. I don't know why my Discord bot is not pinging. Well, bear with me one moment here as I go to my channel and grab the link. And we'll get started with the XIBERIA EX, which is a pretty interesting mouse. It's basically an X2 shape, but and then why don't we do our Twitter post also? Post. Cool. Tempting to get rid of my... Yeah, I don't know why my live streams bot is not working. I wonder if I did something... Okay, whatever. Let's get on with the review, what you guys came here for. Featuring my dog Nova sitting in the corner in her spot as she has been trained with her shot collar. JK, that's evil. I would never do that. I can't believe people do that. This mouse, it's called the XIBERIA EX. I had never heard of the company. This is their first release as far as I know. If you check out their website, they have a bunch of headsets that seem kind of cheapo gamer aesthetic. It's an X2 shape. Whoops, there's my little dot skate thing to try to prop it up for the camera, huh? Look at that. Professional reviewer, by the way. And let me just make sure that the stream is looking good. Okay. I'll also bring up chat here. And while we do that, we'll do a little bit of unboxing. So we got here Z-Mouse, Z-Box. You got EX Synapse, they're calling it. Yeah, the one thing on this card that is a standout thing is this right here, the DPI steps. 8, 4, 8, 1200, 2400, 3200. No 1600 DPI step. Why? It's literally the most popular DPI level. So that's a bummer. I actually haven't changed it in software yet. I've just been using it at 1200 DPI. Sure, QC pass is good to see. Also, this is interesting. I had to translate this. This is a game card that they gave me. Is this 99 yuan? I don't remember. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it goes to, I'm covering up the code, but it goes to a Chinese website, I guess, where I don't know. Is that 99 yuan? If that's so, that's like 99 yuan. That's... How many dollars is that? Isn't that like $14 or something? The accessories are actually pretty good. I don't know if I got some like special launch edition because I got a bunch of skates and the skates are pretty decent. So we have here 2 sets of skates, including pre-installed ones. They're all the same as far as I can tell, and they're good skates. We'll get into that. It also came with dot skates that look okay. And grip tape. And what was this? More grip tape. 2 things of grip tape, 2 things of... And these were packaged separately too. Like, some of them were inside of this carton, some of them were elsewhere. So that makes me think maybe I got like an early launch version where they just decided to throw in extra stuff. Who knows? Alcohol prep pad. I don't really need those. In fact, I'm just going to take those downstairs for disinfecting things. And let's see if we got any... View my channel. We have a cable too. Yep, the cable, it's actually a pretty nice cable. It's pretty thick. It actually has their like branding on it with this hexagon pattern. So the side of the mouse says Gen X equipment. I don't know what that means. But XIBERIA, XIBERIA definitely contracted a manufacturer for this, who we will find out when we disassemble it. Maybe we can look into a little bit there. So let's finally get into the meat and potatoes of this, which is the friggin' mouse phalanges. What are you doing? I wish it came with a transparent version. Wouldn't that have been cool? Man, I was tempted to pick up another Infic INX because they released a 3311 version that's transparent and it looks really cool. So, the mouse itself. Good to see you guys. Are my bots not pinging? Bro, why is like none of my stuff working? I'm gonna try relaunching SpeakerBot. Yes, StreamerBot, SpeakerBot, go. StreamerBot's launching, connecting, okay. And we're just going to test the TTS command real quick.
Percent raw input percent.
Yep, okay, it's working. Okay. So, on to the mouse review. Let's first talk about, I already mentioned what XIBERIA is. I don't know a whole lot about them. I don't think there's anything super special landmark about this mouse other than that it is coming in. It's basically an X2, maybe even slightly larger than an X2, coming in at a decent weight of 48 grams with skates, and I believe a 500 milliamp hour battery. So the shape. I don't have an X2 with me. Sorry, I don't like flat-sided mice, but I do have a couple similar ones. So I've got an L7 from MCHOS. This is basically an X2 Crazy Light with Omron opticals, and an Attack Shark X6, a Forgotten Mouse that's usually kind of an X2 shape with a dock, and I believe like kind of a more pointed hump. I actually have a review of this on my channel. So the X2, the XIBERIA EX is definitely the biggest out of all of them, both in terms of hump height, width, length. The L7 feels way smaller in hand. Despite the L7 not looking a ton smaller on camera, the L7 feels way smaller in hand. So we have a rear hump, not entirely aggressive rear hump. Rear hump is pretty rounded. Omron opticals, side buttons are good. The ridge here on the right, like a lot of X2s, it's a pretty sharp ridge. So if you grip far forward, you're definitely going to be feeling this ridge. It's not quite as sharp as like the MCHOS, but it's close to that. It's definitely closer to the MCHOS than what most mice are. Also, no other real geometry here to note, like no sort of hump here like how the GPX has. And yeah, we have a pretty flat side, a little bit of hip flare on this side, but it's not a ton. You can see a little bit, you can see it better on the black part of the base actually. Yep, stays pretty much straight to the back here. Yeah, if you put your finger like way back here, it still stays very straight, but I think that's pretty characteristic of most of these other mice. Yeah, actually, this is probably the straightest towards the back at the hip flare. The left side of the mouse feels just like the right side. You have very flat sides, very vertically flat. Very vertically flat sides. Should I be using my toothbrush that we all know and love? Very vertically flat sides here. A little bit of, as we come back towards the front, a little bit of hourglassing where this begins to bulge back out. But again, that is so subtle. So, like, realistically, it wants you to put your... So theoretically, it wants you to put your thumb like right here, but realistically, you can put it anywhere far forward if you want or far back. The comfort grooves on the buttons are actually pretty decent. It's kind of hard to... Actually, no, it is coming through on camera. So I do have a little bit of a... Yeah, a little bit of a hump on the triggers here, left and right. Yeah. Yeah, the comfort grooves in this are very good. If you do a full palm, kind of full finger contact, it feels very comfy. It's pretty flat up here. You start feeling the comfort grooves about right here, which is where I place my fingers. I don't understand why more companies don't do that. Everyone likes to put their comfort grooves at the very bottom, but I feel like most people put it next to the scroll wheel. And kind of a sharp-ish feeling front, if that really matters to you. Some people overhang their buttons. I know the Vaxisora, they changed that. What else about the shape? I think that pretty much does it for the shape. Maybe some comparisons here. So, something interesting is the sides are relatively vertical, but there's ever so slight, right sort of in the middle, a slight indent. And I can feel that more on this mouse than like the MCHOS L7 here. It stays pretty flat. I'm even using my toothbrush as like a flatness check. And the Attack Shark X6 is also very flat. This guy ever so slightly wants to put a little bit of a gap behind the toothbrush. Yeah, why don't we move on to the next thing, which is going to be general build quality. I'm impressed with this mouse for its weight. If this truly has a 500 milliamp hour battery in it, and for the first time from XIBERIA, it's pretty decent. We do have some side flex right here, right in front of the hip flare on both sides. That seems to be it feels like it's just a thin walled mouse, which is, I guess, to be expected, but I don't hear any popping or creaking. Towards the front, are you going to be grinding your clicks? Nope, these still actuate great even with pressure there. Towards the back, rock solid. Hump, very solid on the hump. No Corsair Saber V2 going on here. Solid base. Yeah, definitely. Oh, can you guys see that flex though? Yeah, so it is kind of cratering downwards slightly. But again, no creaking, and I'm not really pressing there when I play games. Side button wobble, very little. That's pretty good. Yeah, especially once I'm clicked in, almost nothing. Why don't we talk about the clicks next? The clicks are using Armor opticals, and they are implemented very well in terms of click feel. They are sharp. These feel like binned Armor opticals. I'm not going to say that this is the best implementation for the main reason of the thwap effect. So on the upstroke, it seems like they are not using foam, or they don't use enough foam on the upwards travel end of the stroke. In terms of pressing down, I feel like they might be. We'll see once we disassemble it. But these are good. I would say these are high A tier Armor optical implementation. Yeah, I would say they're... It's like a larger, more hollow sounding mouse than like an L7 here. But in terms of feel, they are like a low S tier. In terms of the sound, I think they could be improved. Yeah, the text-to-speech notifications aren't working. I'm not hearing the dings either, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going on with the review because this is kind of like my one-take review, so I try not to engage with chat too much until we get into the more casual disassembly. Side buttons on this are really, really good in terms of implementation. They have, or in terms of build quality. Implementation, I think, could be better. Forward mouse button, rock solid. Very little teeter-tottering. You can see some there. Back mouse button, same story. Not so much teetering, but you can kind of get it to shift back and forth. Towards the back, still feels very solid. They're not coated. They're not glossy. I would have liked to see some textural difference. They're rather small. They don't protrude they protrude a good amount, but it's not until you get to the middle of the side button. So I think these are good for preventing accidental presses. But I would have liked to see like much larger side buttons. I mean, they're basically the same size as the L7, which is a smaller mouse. Yeah, or maybe to see like a sharp ridge to them, I think would have helped. Next, let's talk weight and balance. So the weight balancing, slightly back heavy. Yep. So my thumbs, I am gripping kind of towards the bottom edge of the sensor. Weight balancing seems to be in line with the back mouse button. I usually like to see it more in line with the split between the mouse buttons. Weight we already looked at was 48 grams, which is good considering the size. Dimensions, I would throw them up on screen, but I don't have them. You guys can look them up. I got this from AliExpress. I believe the listing was like $78 or something. I got 20% coupons plus Rakuten cash back. I think I paid around 50 some dollars, like 57 or something like that. And then after Rakuten cash back, I probably dropped it even more, closer to like $30, $40, which is absolutely insane. But if the $80 MSRP is to be believed, I don't even know if that's MSRP. I'm gonna talk about that in the value section because I don't really know what other number to go off of because this is not on XIBERIA's website. Scroll wheel, it's good. The scroll wheel, it's fairly quiet. Steps, I would say, are a 7 out of 10 tactility. We have a translucent color scroll, which comes through on camera as just looking kind of glossy, shiny, and that is how it looks in person. But then you get up close to it, and it looks transparent, which I think always looks a little cheap, but I still think it is okay. Middle mouse is firm. Again, like all middle mouse buttons, I wish it had more travel. Yeah, Schwamper and chat, this does feel like an MCHO's mouse. That is my... I am thinking we're going to open this up and it's going to be basically an MCHO's with like, we'll see what the MCU in it is. I believe it's supposed to be Nordic, and usually MCHO's uses Realtek. Side buttons, we talked about scroll and middle mouse. Coding. Coding is very good. Coding on this is like a solid A tier, possibly like A plus tier. It is very good. There's a black, and then this like deep blue color. It's like almost a purpley blue. You guys can see my fingerprints staying on it. That is definitely the case. It's a fingerprint magnet. I would say this is equivalent to, so like this feels, yeah, it feels better than like my MCHO's L7. But I wouldn't put this on the same level as like a James Donkey RSR5 or Viper V3 Pro. The skates are good. They remind me a lot of MCHO skates, where they can be kind of slow. MCHO's newer skates, not the black ones, where they can be kind of slow on kind of really smooth pads. Like it just feels like a little bit of staticiness. But compared to the MCHO's, you do have better edge rounding for sure. I'll see if I can give you guys a close-up here of both of them. Yep. So we have the support structure underneath. Oh yeah, middle mouse skate, sure. Very, very slight skiving marks, but nothing that I felt. Yeah, they're good skates. I'm glad that they included 3 of them. I certainly will be, wouldn't mind putting these on some other mice. Next we have performance. Felt fine in game. I haven't used this at work yet to check for wireless interference, but from the little bit that I use this on Mousecast on Friday. It feels fine. No hitches, no stuttering. Don't come to me for in-depth performance reviews, guys. Go to Pizogle for that. I'm more here for like shape analysis and click feel and disassembly. So let's wrap up then with value, general thoughts, and then I'll get into the disassembly and I'll take some Q&A also. So value at $80, this is priced basically right. I would say it feels like a good quality MCHO's mouse. I don't like to see that like $80. I know there's some MCHO stuff like the K7 that I would... Is this on the level of the K7? The K7 is a little bit more feature rich. I think it has a better coating. It's a heavier mouse though. And this guy, this is kind of a larger X2, which does not really exist. Like an X2 size 3, maybe X2 size 2.5. That's maybe its most unique thing going for it. Otherwise, $80, I think you really got to clip coupons and stuff. Like $80 compared to something like a Duckbill or to a Luna 33, this is a good value. But compared to, yeah, I'm looking over at like my MCHO's K7 or VGN F2. At that rate, I think this would be more in line with, think like Cyrox mice, for example. Cyrox is like pretty banger stuff, but like the V8 doesn't really have a coating. And the middle mouse on both the V8 and V6 could be improved. So this is like, I don't know, think of it like a slightly improved Cyrox take on an X2 shape, on a larger X2 shape. Yeah, I appreciate the no nonsense power button. This is the DPI button here. Any questions that you guys have in chat? Any shape comparisons you want me to do or talk through? I don't know anything about release date from XIBERIA. It says designed by XIBERIA on it. I hope I'm even saying XIBERIA correctly, because I really don't know. Yeah. Model EX mouse. Okay, well, I think I'm going to get into the disassembly then. And I'm going to take photos for Reddit. Good evening. Hey, LVXO. So, let me... I don't really know what else I can do about the bot's not working. Oh, am I dumb? I did not log in. I forget that I have to log in every single time. Okay, well, it's probably a good thing, because then I would have gotten distracted with a bunch of pings. Okay, the bot should be working. You guys can try. There we go. Yep, it's working. So guys, get any questions you have, get them in now before I start disassembling this thing. PCB is the only thing that didn't scream M-chose to me. For which mouse, Schwamper? By the way, it's good to see you, Schwamper. I'm so glad it's great to see you in, like, basically all the live streams. I just have to find my nuts. Where did I put them? Found my screwdriver. Man, I love this screwdriver. I found this the other day. I've said this before. I have an electric screwdriver, but I actually prefer the mechanical one. Or the the manual ones. Here it is. So, a little bit of a teaser for the people who are watching this live stream. I slid into... Okay, so I posted this ROM Leviathan review that I think it's pretty garbage because it's like one of my one-take reviews. I just posted this on Friday or whatever. It apparently gets a bunch of views, including one from Hall Effect Screwdriver Win. It apparently got a comment from the one and only Jake U. So I slide into Jake U's DMs being like, well, first of all, I commented back, and you guys can go look at the ROM Leviathan review stream thing and see what I said if you really want. But yeah, I slid into his DMs on Twitter, and he replies back, like, I shot my shot. You know, I don't know, some people just ignore it, especially Twitter DMs. I was like, hey, you want to come on Mousecast? It's pretty chill. It's casual. It's just me and Dastrazak. And he goes, what timing? I was just about to ask you, saying I'd love to come on at some point. And I was like, no way. Oh, I should have gotten... I don't know if I got an original weight of this. Okay, just don't worry about the skates. They're there. You know what? That's kind of a crappy photo. Hang on. See, I don't really know. Like, again, I don't really care about the whole thumbnail art stuff. But I also do know it kind of matters. This is just for Reddit, but still. Then again, I'm not a huge aesthetics guy. I got roasted twice today, guys. The bottom is printed rather than having a sticker. Yeah, so these are in fact printed to this silver text. I can't feel it. It's like printed on. Yeah. Look at the bottom. This feels Cyroxy, doesn't it? How they have a totally flat bottom and then they have just a single little ridge here. They're also using smaller screws, which is not... Those aren't like ATK screws. Man, that's like another level of mouse autism is... Which factory it is based on what Philips head screws they use. So I got roasted on Twitter. Or, I'm sorry, I got roasted on Reddit first from some guy who's like... I posted pictures of the ROM Leviathan optical encoder, the Raisha Gen 3 optical encoder, and I had replaced the switches from TTC V2s to FE opticals, and this guy replies being like, why'd you do that? Don't you have anything better to do? And I replied back like, just wait till this guy figures out I have a Mousecast podcast. Oh, man. Oh, I do like the haters, though. I guess I'm pretty fortunate where haters don't generally get under my skin. Oh, this is looking like an M-chose antenna. Haters don't generally get under my skin, though I can see why some other people struggle with it more. It's just, I don't know, I guess I've been on the internet long enough where, like, if somebody has a really dumb take, then, like, it doesn't bother me because I know that take is dumb, and I don't need a bunch of people to, like, go upvote my comment and downvote his to make me feel better. It's like, oh man, how do I get this apart? There we go. Oh, this is looking M-chose, guys. This is looking M-chose. We have an M-chose looking antenna and the gold trace around the PCB. 39.50 sensor, I guess. Isn't that funny? I just did a review and I didn't even talk about, like, I mentioned at one point Arm on Opticals. Oh man, I need to get better at reviews. Actually saying what the switches are and what the sensor is. I also got a few hate comments on that ROM Leviathan video, which is just hilarious. The guy was calling me like homeless and oh, it was absolute gold. I actually hearted one of them because it was so funny. Amacho's PCB, I'm familiar with his L7, which does not look like it. Yeah, again, it's, I mean, these mouse companies are evolving so quickly. Like, an Emcho's K7 looks way different than... Bro, I have an A5 V2 right here. Man, does this thing feel dated by modern Emcho standards. And by dated, it's like still a totally fine functional mouse. It's just... No arm on opticals, their old style of skates, split skates. Yo, who else is happy that split skates are now a trend that have died out? This whole... Nope, that's not a split skate. This one. I was like, I'm gonna grab the pink mouse. Look at how much more vibrant the, oh, it doesn't come through on camera. Oh, rip. The Emcho's is more vibrant. Even like the printing. Look at the silver printing. Man. Somebody posted on Reddit today that was like the old goats versus the new ones, and it was an ELO shapes comparison of a bunch of newer mice like GPX2 and stuff versus an ELO, and it was like 5 mice overlaid on top of each other, so you really couldn't see anything, versus the old goats. And he had not even that old of goats, but he had like G Pro wireless and G502 light speed, and it just made me realize like how much shapes have gotten so iterative. Seeing 5 modern mice overlaid on top of each other versus 5 2020 mice, and it's like, oh damn, yeah, shapes have really gotten safe. The scroll wheel is so good. Should def weigh it. Felt really light. On what mouse? Wait, Schwamper, do you have a XIBERIA EX? I'm sorry, I said earlier you said something about like the PCB didn't scream Emchos to me. Brother, you've already opened up a XIBERIA EX? Here I am thinking that I'm like exclusive content. Oh my gosh, you're insane, dude. How much did you pay for yours? Did you get Rakuten 30% cash back? Because I need to look up what I paid. I should have prepped for this video better by like actually reading. Oh, okay, 4.2 volts scared me at first, but that's the charge voltage. Yeah, this is looking like an Emchos, dude. Emchos, their 500 milliamp hour batteries are like 9.5 grams, except for their like very recent one. I forget which one it is. Oh, I need to get the pinout. Pinout is BTR. Gotta get this erect here, come on. There we go. 9.39 grams. Good, boys. We're gonna get some good weight reduction. Gonna get a 6 gram weight reduction. This is gonna be a 42 gram large mouse. Largish mouse. Yeah, that is like an Emcho's antenna right there, brother. Look at that monstrosity. Look at that antenna, dude. I love it. I love to see that. Give me, yes, if it is a 1/4 gram heavier to like be more wireless interference resistant. Oh my goodness. Yes, please. Got it right on my battery. This was 9.4 grams, and this was XIBERIA. I'm not even going to say EX, because I don't know if I'm ever going to own another XIBERIA mouse. XIBERIA. Yeah, I will weigh that scroll wheel for you, Schwamper. So, wait a second, Schwamper, wait a second. So you're telling me you don't have a precision jewelry scale? He says, yeah, I bought the same day as you, based on everything. 38 grams now. Whoa. Bro, you have a sickness. Wait, Schwamper, I gotta know. How much did you actually use the mouse before base sanding it? That was another one of the, I didn't even read this troll on the Reddit, or on YouTube on my Rom Leviathan video. I didn't even read. He had like 5 comments on it. So I only read like 1.5 of them. But I did scan, and he did say something about like opening up the mouse as soon as I get it. I was like, this guy doesn't know my level of illness. But I guess it's okay. I don't feel so bad because I also share that illness with Schwamper. That's a pretty PCB. Okay, that was this thing that came out. Oh, weird quirk about the mouse that I really like. The LED diffuser on the side here, you know, for your like DPI levels right here. It's actually really nice and even. I really like it. But yeah, this looks like Mcho's L7 PCB that's like very, very flat. I mean, I just reassembled mine, but it's just very flat on the inside. Like 10 minutes maybe, says Schwamper. Which is more than I usually do because I wanted to make sure it wasn't too big. Oh, bro. Bro gets a mouse and is immediately like, alright, how can I mess this up? Yeah, this looks Mcho's. We have Armon Opticals. We got the gold traces around the PCB. Yellow plunger. Again, this is Mcho's and ATK. I think both do this. I know ATK does, but also I think Mcho's does too. I don't know what's missing here. These 4 contacts. Yeah, smaller sensors, nice to see. TTC gold encoder, that is 10 millimeter encoder. Well, Schwamper, if you don't have a precision jewelry scale, brother, if you ever buy anything from me, I will ship you this scale because I don't use this. I think I actually have a few scales. This one's nice because it has a calibration weight to it. Just neato burrito. But I use this one because, yeah, when I recommend people to get a scale, it's very simple, but you need to know, get a scale with a physical on-off button. Some scales have like a dumb press and hold thing, or some scales don't auto power off. And also get one that's like actually big enough. So this one's actually big enough for like a full mouse, plus you can throw some other stuff on it. So something like this, I would usually have the mouse overhanging a little bit, which isn't the end of the world, but... No way my flare on mouse review is I mod mice before I use them. Yeah, I get it. It's a sickness. You get a mouse and you're like, I can do better. I know better than the manufacturer. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm supposed to be getting pictures. So there we go. We get a picture of this bad boy. 9 gram PCB, pretty good. Pretty good. And I'll get a picture of the bottom for the boyos too. We do have pinholes for... So it has Omron Opticals in it, 5 pin. We do have pinholes for mechanicals, which is good to see. Just as an option. Man, I wonder if one of these days we're just going to get some like mechanical switch that just feels absolutely incredible. Okay. That's pretty good for that. Let's get a weight of the base with all the buttons on it too. I'll get a weight of the scroll wheel. Do you want to... Oh my gosh, you were right, Schwamper. You want to guess the weight of the scroll wheel? Oh my gosh. That is a very light scroll wheel. Holy smokes. So I would say typical lightweight mice have scroll wheels around like 2 grams. Some of the heavier ones are closer to 3. I wonder if this is one of the lightest ones I've ever experienced. Schwamper, take your guess. I'm going to write down what my guess is. I'm going to write down what my guess is. Am I off camera? I am off camera. Okay, Schwamper. Lock in your guess. Lock in your guess on stream, and then I'll weigh it. 8 grams to the base. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get a ton out of that, or at least I don't think so. You said you got it down to 38 grams. 2.67? Brother, you are way off. Here's my guess. I don't think it's gonna be that light. No way. One. Schwamper. My autism weight analysis is better than yours. I'm actually not. I keep making that joke. I hope I'm not insulting anyone. I don't have. Oh wait, do I need to tear? Oh, hang on. I need to turn off my fans. I could be cheating. I gotta go Cam Vinci level and put a thing. Oh, sorry. Wait, dog break. Hi, doggy. She's not in her place, guys. I'm gonna have to zap her. No. My wife says I shouldn't joke about that. I probably shouldn't. I'm so close. Man, it's jumping around. No, okay. I count that as a win. Wait, I'm supposed to... Alright, Schwamper. I'm gonna do the... I'll do the photo for Reddit, and I'll also have my guess in it. Dang it, it's not going back down. It's not going back down to 1.28. Oh, that's a bummer. I was close at least. I'll still take that. Alright, next component. Wow, I gotta turn these fans back on. It's stuffy. Do you guys want to see my collection? Do you want to see me? I figure you want to see me. Man, one of the... I would straight up buy a bunch of those scroll wheels if I could. Yeah, I know. No kidding. Like, to just be able to weight drop a mouse by 1.5 grams or something just by swapping scrolls. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like scroll wheels, like, do we need them to be so friggin' high durability? Not really. I don't know. Top part. I'll take out the side buttons too. I can already tell these are those 90-degree angled 2-pin Huano. I can tell they're a brown shell. They're probably the blue dots. Brown shell, blue dots. So, speaking of this YouTube commenter that I'm giving way too much publicity to, but he did make me look in the mirror because he called me like a dirty homeless something, and I need to buy a dirty homeless blogger or something like that. Oh yeah, look at that. They are brown shell, blue dots, 2-pin. Because, I mean, be honest with me, guys. Does my setup here look disgusting? Like, this. I got solder spots. I got paint. I got, like... I know being called a dirty hobo is like hyperbole, and that really doesn't bother me at all. It does legitimately make me wonder though, like, do I need to have a little bit better presentation on YouTube? Yeah, it looks like you use it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people have to understand this is literally a hobby mat. This is literally designed to get cut up and all this stuff. But I was thinking I could get a different one. I could get a new one. It's just I don't like spending. I really, really am like adverse to spending money if I don't have to. Oh, I should get a picture of the side buttons in here. Oh, that's fun. Okay, I can show you guys an injection molding mark. That's pretty funny. One thing not great to see is they are using little ghetto spacers. I hope that word doesn't get me demonetized. So these little sticky washers that they put on help with side button, like eliminating pre-travel. These side buttons feel really good. I'm surprised at the lack of internal structure, how good these side buttons feel. We have no cross bracing here. No side PCB reinforcement other than, I think... Nope, that's for the LED. This is a pretty solid mouse for, yeah, given how thin the sides are and everything. But these, that's a failure point where, I don't know, you spill Coca-Cola in your mouse and that gets washed away. Now your side button feels kind of weird. MKBHD style, if you wanted to have a separate area for pictures that looks nice. I've been looking to buy some of those spacers too. Can't find them. Yeah, I know, I want these. If you wanted to, you could have a separate area for pictures that look nice. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. You have to remember, my entire ethos with my channel is low effort. Because the moment that things get too high effort, the content will cease. Even this weekend, my wife and I had a little beef about like me spending too much time on this stuff, and I already feel like I have it as optimized as possible. So yeah, you guys aren't gonna get a ton more. I'm sorry. Enjoy Mousecast. There is some stuff, it does make me wonder though, like there is probably some stuff that maybe isn't high effort, but I could do to make things a little bit better. So I would like to get a better camera. The problem with my current camera, it's actually just an old Galaxy S7 Active, and the camera itself is fine. It's like light years better than any webcam I would use. And no way in hell, guys, am I getting a DSLR. I use this because it's the phone itself. If I were to sell it on eBay, I would get like 20 bucks for it, okay? Go find me a camera that looks better for 20 bucks. The problem with this camera are the scan lines. You guys see those black bars slowly creeping up? There's one right here. There's one right here. That has to do with me using an LED work light. There you go. You can see it even better on a white background. There you guys see the scan lines, and you'll see they slowly move. And it has to do with the shutter speed of the camera, and which is something I can't adjust on this phone, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I got a new phone. So that means I will be using my Galaxy Flip 3 for my main camera here at some point, because I think this is only worth about $50, especially since I have like a crack in the screen. And once I've done that, I think the autofocus gets messed up because of these scan lines. Min-max and the effort to quality ratio is real. Yeah, I don't think people really realize, like, the other day I did some mouse modding, not on live stream. Like, I had to like really think, like, I want this content to be something that people see, but I don't want to engage with the audience. I don't want to feel committed, blah, blah, blah. I just want to be able to put this down and pick it back up. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the guy, sorry, I was supposed to say, the guy called me out for being like a dirty homeless blogger, is the word he used. And I shot my ROM Leviathan's live stream yesterday, and look at the shirt I was wearing in it. I guess that's all I'll say. So maybe I am a little dirty. I don't know, I've just been home all day though. I feel gross, like I want to shower, but yeah, okay, I think we're getting into TMI right now. So the other thing I'm going to do, Schwamper, you probably do this too. You take out the battery holder, right? This little holding down U channel thing. So injection molding thing I think I want to show you guys is right here. See this like wet looking area here? And you can kind of see like grind marks on it. So I'm pretty sure what this is. Nah, screw the haters. No, I know, I agree with you. Screw the haters. This guy is not getting under my skin. It's just, whenever you do receive criticism, a good person will at least pause for a moment and try to see if that criticism has foundation to it. So if it is like, I don't know, that did get me thinking, like, should I not do, is this green like a problem? I think with my cameras, I think darker would help. Well, I don't know. The thing is, I could go black, which would look better on camera, because if you guys see, as soon as I put something white, like my white ass hands here, the camera has to well, that's refocusing. The camera has to like re-white balance. So if I had a black background, that would make things even worse, right? I could go to a white background. Maybe that's the play. But then something like a white mouse might not show up as well on a white background. Like, you can already see how washed out this has to look because I have to crank the exposure because of the stupid shutter speed. Boosting my algorithm. Yeah, okay, I did not, yeah. So, okay, you guys want to know something about Daz? I think the hater comments really get to him sometimes, and that's because Daz cares so much. He puts so much effort into his channel, and I feel bad for him that, I mean, he gets like way more views than what I do, right? So you also have like way more haters. Also just like really dumb comments about people asking for like one-off shape comparisons. Like, Daz is gonna go make a separate video for this one random ass person who's making like a really weird shape comparison. Yeah, right, buddy. So, but unfortunately that means I think some of the hater comments, Daz has like, he and I have talked and he's like shadow banned people. And it's definitely been people that like, I'll remind him, I'll be like, they do boost the algorithm because it's engagement. So that's funny because my ROM Leviathan video, it's at like 300 views, which is nuts for one of these dumb live stream VODs. Is this like not? Can you go into place, please, PCB? Oh, you just need like a lot of force, brother? Yeah, okay. I can force you. Oh, I'm stupid. What's the consensus on this mouse shape-wise? It's a larger X2. Well, I don't have an X2, so grain of salt with that. But it feels larger than the... It feels larger than the Attack Shark X6 that I have. I hope that helped Soul out. By the way, Soul out, good to see you. Yeah, I called it size 2.5. Please take that with a grain of salt. Like, check dimensions on XIBERIA's product page list. Mother trucker, that was sharp. I'm trying hard not to swear in this review video because I actually want to monetize this one. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you know this, I don't monetize my live streams. I mean, like, what? I could monetize all my live streams and get, like, $3 each month. You know? I'd rather it be for the people who decide to watch the VOD, which is already crazy that people even do that, but for people to watch the VOD to not have to deal with mid-roll ads, which suck, especially on long-form content. Dimensions, I think, may have been exactly the same as X2 medium low-key. Okay, yeah, again, I don't have an X2 here. I do, so I have an Attack Shark X6, which I know has ever so slight more taper here in the middle, which is what makes a mouse feel smaller, is having a narrow waist. That was something, so fun fact, I had an X2 way back in the day, back when like Pulsar was first releasing stuff, like the original X Lite and stuff, and I tried, I think in store, an X2, and it was just flat-sided monstrosity, and I was like, yeah, I hate this. So fast forward, the X2H releases, and I'm like, okay, I don't really care, it's an X2H, so it's an X2 but with a more H, more hump. I don't really care about it, until one day I meet up with this guy named Austin, aka Daz, and he brings an X2H with him or whatever for me to repair in a parking lot in a town between us. And I'm like, wait a second, this isn't just an X2, this has a narrower waist, and a waist with like a really, really nice tapering to it that I really vibe with. I gotta go check one out. And like shortly after, I went to Micro Center, and I actually I did not buy one at Micro Center because I buy used because I have a problem, but I was like, damn, this is so good. And so now I still rank, like, my favorite shapes are like Strider, X2H, Viper V3. Yeah, X2H, I don't know if you guys know this, X2H is like one of my favorite shapes of all time. Not even has to do with the hump, it just has to do with the side geometry here. Really nice big hip flare. Yeah, just a really nicely proportioned mouse. I almost wish they made a size 1, or size 3, sorry, size 3. Are you gonna sell this? I know you don't like flat sides. No, I think I'm gonna keep the XIBERIA because I realize I don't have that many flat-sided mice, so I think I'm gonna keep this one as like my one that because think about it, okay. How much would I list this for if I sell it, guys? Throw out a number. AliExpress listing is 80 bucks, but we know people regularly get 20% off with coupons and stuff, so realistically the AliExpress price is 20% off of 80 is what, like $16 off, so it's 64 bucks. So let's say I list it for $64 on eBay. I pay $6 to ship it. Now I'm at 58 bucks, and I pay 15% of fees. It's actually a little bit higher because they account for shipping and taxes, which is really dumb. So I'm gonna pay like closer to 20% on that $58 that I have remaining. So that's like another $12 off. So now I'm getting like $46 for this mouse. Meh. That's actually more than I thought, but I still don't think I would take it. JST 1.0 connector, BTR, black thermistor, red. Plug in the battery, make sure she turns on. Yep, we got a beautiful LED right there, cool. XIBERIA is an unknown brand too. Yeah, does anyone want to like go over to their website? Are you guys able to post links in chat? Their website, I looked once. I think, was it live on Mousecast when I looked? It was friggin' like super gamer garbage headsets. What? And then they come and they make this like, I would call this, guys, I would call this an, if you asked me 6 months ago, this would be S tier. Mice have gotten so good though. So it's like, can something be S tier if it doesn't have Nordic 54 in it? You know? The coding clicks weight on this. It's like better than, so Cyrox used to be like a definitive S tier value for me in my mind. Like that was like I have a friend who comes and asks me for a mouse recommendation and I just want him to go away because he's not really a friend. Maybe he's an acquaintance or something. I just say Cyrox. Go get Cyrox. Well, Cyrox now is like, the V6 has a good coding. The V8 is basically uncoded. They both have middle mouse button, feels kind of hollow and crappy. Their weights are good. They're not industry leading, but they are like good build quality, good weight. Really good in that regard. Decently implemented Omron opticals. But like, the skates could be better. Middle mouse could be better. The coding could be better on the V8. They're old Nordic, right? 52 series. Cyrox is a low A now IMO, maybe even B tier. So that's the thing. I think we need to reevaluate. That's the problem. That's the problem. S tier is changing. Like what is definitive S tier for you guys? So mine are, for coding, Viper V3 Pro White. Nothing has gotten equivalent to the Viper V3 Pro in white for me. Nothing. Even the faker that I have is still better than most things. And then other coatings that have felt really good, James Donkey RSR5, specifically the like whitish one that I have. Incot coatings are good. Darmo Shark coatings are good, at least on their white ones. The Gen 2 coatings from Rapu are good. VGN F2 is good. Yeah, but nothing is as good as Viper V3 Pro. The Fantech Aria. Like, there's a classification of, like, what I would call, like, solid A tier coatings. This is, like, Yzowl, Fantech Aria, Zaupin ZPW, basically all the Incot stuff, basically all the Rapu Gen 2. I'm pretty sure these all might be coded at the same facility or the same exact process, because they all feel similar. I think this one feels a little bit better, but I don't know if that's, like, a color difference. I really like this XIBERIA. It's probably S tier for me. Good to hear. So then, like, S tier click feel. For me, it's like Maya X, HitScan Hyperlight, both Omron opticals. Like, the first Omron optical mouse that I remember is the Sora V1, and like that is really pingy and a little bit gritty by modern standards. Yeah, and then if you like a harsher click feel, I would also put WL mouse stuff as S tier click feel. Yeah, I'm Omron optical pilled. And then in terms of like S tier, what's next thing? Skates. I did say, okay, we do have a new S tier competitor. So the ones I just named out, like Maya X, HitScan Hyperlight, those are both over a year old. Viper V3 Pro is over a year old. But we do have a new S tier for stock skates, and I would say that's Luna 33. Yeah. Like side buttons, like S tier side buttons. Who has really big, good side buttons? The thing is, a lot of brands have like really good, solid side buttons, but the Mcho's K7 has really good side buttons, where they do have teeter-totter, but they protrude a good amount. They're glossy, and for me personally, I like the tensioning to them, but that kind of starts getting a little bit subjective. Because some people really like really light side buttons. Like a lot of the Rapu stuff, they all use like the same switches. They're all kind of the same side button feel. They're very lightweight, very short travel. Personally, I think that's bad for accidental presses. Not that I have that problem, but just in general. Were there any other pictures that I wanted to get here? So like this XIBERIA, I don't know. And then like the other thing is like shape is also a big, like Luna 33, that's an S tier mouse, except for scroll wheel felt kind of gritty on my copy. I wasn't a fan of the shape, but that's subjective, and the price isn't great, but also we don't know what the launch price MSRP is going to be. So like, I don't know. Endgame gear, yeah, endgame gear side buttons, yeah, endgame gear side buttons. So endgame gear side buttons are like, they're like an old design, you know? But I would agree where they are S tier. They are loud, they are tactile, so when you hit them, you know it. Oh my god, I need to use this mouse more. Holy shoot. I'm putting that on my desk. I say, oh, I'm putting that on my desk as if I'm going to remember. These are all mice, guys. Like, what? Ay, ay, ay. Alright, so the reassembled weight. Oh, I was supposed to talk about this here, this glossy patch. So I think this is an injection molding thing. So again, the molds that these parts come out of are steel, right? They're special alloys that are like very hard because they need to be able to withstand hundreds of thousands of cycles. But sometimes you make a mold and there's maybe an issue with it. So you go in there with an angle grinder and you grind away at the mold, or with a die grinder, because maybe you're getting like burrs or something here because it wasn't totally machined perfectly. And now then when you make your plastic part, you now have a little patch that shows your grinder marks. That's what that looks like to me. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, this is a very lightweight design. Oh, let's talk about the buttons here. I did not take these apart. Hang on. I need to take one apart. So I was wrong. We do have foam on the upstroke. That's what this is here. So when the button comes up, it contacts that. I think my gripe about where it felt like it didn't is that it seems thin. And sure enough, that is thin, my guys. That's a thin bit of foam. And it's not a denser foam like Pulsar. They'll use a denser foam that's more like what you use in keyboards to dampen them, or it's almost like rubbery foam. This is like a loosey-goosey, furry foam. So there's that. Plus, the thwapping sound. It's a hollow mouse. It's a large hollow mouse, so I think you have some reverberations of the sound in here. But you can just see, look at how much open space we have here. This is impressive. We have a lot of open... Here, I'll take off a click just so we see it. But before I do, the click feel, look at this. We have... Tension is actually a little bit, slightly more tension. I'm talking like just a few gram force, more tension, more force required on left mouse here. But these are nice. I'm putting very, very little force down. I would have liked to see them more floppy, like to the point where they're down when I hold it like this, and they're up when I hold it like this. But this is still good. That's good to see. I don't really want to mess up the tension here. Yeah, look at how much open area we have here. Yeah, they did a good job there. Why don't I take both buttons off, because I'm actually going to move that foam slightly. The clicks are pretty thin as well. Yeah, good click design is another thing that you guys might not know this, but yeah, they're decently thin. These ridges here, these have this is a structural component to the ridges. So when you put ribs going this way, that's going to prevent it from wanting to bend like this. And then ribs going left to right are going to prevent it from wanting to bend like this. Think of like, I don't know. Here you go. Here's an example. Here's a knife blade. Very thin, right? I can bend it. God, I gotta not cut myself. I can bend it doing this. But if I flip it this way and I start trying to bend it this way, I can't bend it. You know, it's no different than if you hold a piece of paper flat versus you hold a piece of paper like that. Flat like that. Sorry, I'm zoomed way the heck in. So the ribs are basically that same kind of geometry. Yeah. We have no foam on the downstroke. I'm really surprised. I thought there was some. I'm not going to add any. But what I am going to tweak is the foam here seems to be a little borked. The base has very little ribs, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's not good for structural integrity. That's one of the reasons why it flexes so much. But it looks really clean, doesn't it? But yeah, I can see why you're saying it's unfortunate, especially after you sanded yours, dude. I can only imagine how thin and flimsy it must feel. Sorry, I was doing that off camera a little bit. There we go. I'm just recentering some of this. Some of this foam. I also hope the autofocus will be better when I switch cameras. Looks are pretty thin. Pill side buttons can die. Yeah, I know. I don't get, dude, why we are all obsessed with teeny tiny side buttons. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe there's a reason for it that we don't know, that we're not privy to. Maybe something about like making them really big and they start getting all wobbly or something. So then people complain about build quality, or I don't know. But I'm with you. It's also good to see they did grease here. And also these little things are to prevent side-to-side play, which they accomplished that, so that's good. Yeah, I'm not going to tune the click feel in this at all. They're well implemented on opticals, just a little bit loud on the upstroke because it's kind of a big hollow mouse. I'm going to rip off this battery hold down U channel looking thing. What do we think is the weight here? Yeah, this thing here. Oh my gosh, for some reason the like glossiness, I thought I like ripped a hole in my mouse at first, but no, it's just this. I'm always wrong with these. Like the last time I guessed when I was way the heck off. I'm gonna say 0.15. Oh, that's close. Okay, not bad. 0.7? Wait. Were you gonna say this was 0.7? Oh, Schwamper, buddy. You've got to work on your estimating if that's the case. That's okay. We forgive you. We forgive you. You brought us base sanding. Any of you guys, what are you guys up to right now? Any of you guys aim training? I get the impression that people just like listen to this while aim training. Playing Rivals. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right, Han Solo. That's right, we talked about. Who do you play in Rivals? Which characters? Not that I actually know the Rivals characters. I tried it once and I was like, yeah, not for me. Like the team fighting game. I like more of the Call of Duty style. Yeah. Alright, let's put the screws back in and get a flex. That's good. So the little bit of Overwatch, I got into Overwatch for like maybe close to a year. But yeah, I didn't really like it because it's too I don't like... It really grinds my gears when it's like... when you're helpless in a situation, and you're helpless in a situation not because you played it poorly, but because like something happened to your team, or because the person is playing a character that counters you. To me, that's just like a kind of a... Like, I get it. I get that's like how a hero shooter is supposed to be played, but to me, it just gets a little bit like... Guess I'll just die now. And I guess that's just not as fun to me. Which, like, one of the very first games that I played was a class-based shooter. Star Wars Battlefront, like the old Star Wars Battlefront. But that was like a class-based thing, kind of like Battlefield, where it's not like, oh no, they're a sniper and I'm a medic. They're my counter. I can't do anything against them. The classes in that game, it was more just like, yeah, like Battlefield, where it's like, you know what, I kind of want to be able to spawn on this tower and just sit on the tower, die, and then spawn in on the tower again. I'm going to choose a sniper class for the respawn beacon, the tactical insertion beacon, whatever you want to call it. Or like medic, you know, I want to be able to revive teammates because I'm not very good at shooting people, so I'll just hit people with my paddles. Like, I respect that kind of play, for sure. Not saying I don't respect, like, hero shooters, but just not my cup of tea. Okay, so we did a battery swap. We were 48.10 grams. I'm going to say we're going to be at... I'm going to say we're going to be at this. I'm going to write it down off camera. That was... Okay, there's my guess. I want to see what you guys are guessing. So we did a battery swap, which is probably like a 6-ish gram reduction. And then we did a... We removed this little thing that was 0.12 grams. Tromper says 40.03. I think you're going to be closer this time. But we'll see. Oh, no skates. Wait a second. I need skates on it. Wait a second. Is that not fair? Sorry, was your guess with or without skates? I'm going with skates. Which I have them reversed. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm sticking with mine. Oh, I'm close. That was my guess. 41.69. Yeah, the skates are pretty good, Schwamper. So when you mod, by the way, Schwamper, do you go dot skates too for the weight savings? Yeah, I will do. Mine was without. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Well, without skates. Yeah, you're darn close, dude. Look at that. 40.03. You're only off by like 0.26. Yeah. 69. Nice. LVXO gets it. The obligatory nice. So I might have to give a presentation to some 9th graders. A career day presentation. Should I put 67 in there? It's so funny. Like, I saw a meme on Reddit that was like millennials getting mad that Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever Gen, is amused by 67. And then the meme was like literally the internet in 2018. And it was a bunch of people with the E meme, you know, the Lord Farquaad from Shrek, just going E. I have so many stock skates, yeah. What do you use for dot skates, Schwamper? Don't you have anything better to do with your time? She's up here with me and Lauren. She's underneath the desk if you wanted to say hi to her. I feel bad for anyone who like actually watched this because they're like, I want a review of the XIBERIA EX. Whatever, they can skip around. Oh, I never showed the dongle. Here's what the XIBERIA dongle looks like. It reminds me of in like the hacker movies where they have to go hack into the mainframe and they get the little key card USB thing to upload the virus. Dongle weight reduction when? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take this last photo for Reddit. 41.39, pretty good in a large mouse. Dongle weight, and I will post that to Reddit, the dongle weight, and see if anyone cares. Man, that subreddit. So I'm talking very briefly with JQ. I think one of our discussion topics is going to be how the mouse community has changed over the years. And one of his things was he moved away from the subreddit because it just gets, people get a little bit elitist. And I was like, or I think he used the word toxic. Wait a second, look at this. This looks like a date. Is this a cyberpunk reference? Wait a second, guys. 2077-0110. So January 10th of January 2077. Is that a reference to something? Anyone who has played Cyberpunk, is that a reference to something? Anywho. Yeah, just the community. There's like kind of I think he used, what word did he use? I think he used the word toxic. I don't think it's that toxic, but it certainly is a little bit elitist and a little bit bandwagon-y. So, yeah, unpopular take. Yeah, r/mouse review, like, one of the big reasons for like me being an influencer or something, I don't know, like Reddit recap is a part of the Mousecast, but it's not really the community I engage with anymore. I pretty much just post stuff there. Now, Twitter I actually don't really engage with either. Twitter's just like a necessary evil. Twitter's so bad because it's a freaking like news, not even news. Twitter search is so bad. Yeah. But Reddit at least is searchable. Reddit's good for information. Is that Ratio optical encoder compatible with other mouse PCBs that use the same pinout for mechanical encoders? No. If you take a look sole out at the Reddit post that I made today, you'll see it's a 4-pin. The optical encoder is 4-pin. Favorites right now are Talon Games, Kumo, Wiseowl X Kibu dots, and TBTL V2 control dots. Oh man, yeah, I'm not a skate enthusiast. I know those brands. I couldn't tell you anything about those skates though. I just use the cheap AliExpress ones that I have like a million of. Okay, I think I need to take this stream down because this was technically a review, like a one-take review, and then I'm gonna go live again in a few minutes, and I don't know what we want to do next, guys. We could do, let's see, what are our options? One option is I could upgrade the Orbital Pathfinder to, upgrade, I have purple parts. So that's one option. Another option is we could just look at how adorable my dog is. Yeah, what do we have going on over here? Yeah, funny, this seems like a piglet. They just stick their arms out. Oh, she's so silly. You know what? Maybe I should just do these and we'll just keep chatting. These are base sanded mice that I still haven't finished. I've made good progress. I mean, there were 40 and now I have like 10 left. So that's what we'll do, guys. Okay? Okay. That's what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen. As if there's any ladies watching. Alright. I'm taking down the stream. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Bye-bye.